Level 2, let's go. Now, complete honesty here, I actually re-recorded this. And the reason why, you're not going to see it, because I did a good edit. I'm so good at this. I'm terrible at sound mixing, but I'm great at editing. No, I'm not. However, you're not going to notice it, but I completely missed a key on the first go-through. And rather than go through the level again and show all of that, I just loaded up the save and decided, okay, we're going to do this proper and not forget the key this time. The second key, that is. What I was going to talk about from the last time is that this game is kind of known for being gory. Gore being the bloodshed. Blood flying out across the screen. But it's gory in a kind of a unique way, in that whenever you... Because, I mean, Doom was gory. You explode an enemy and it's a pile of blood and viscera on the floor. In here, if you can barely notice it, because I'm going through it, you shoot a guy in the neck, and, well, he holds onto his neck and just goes through a death throw of choking on his own blood and spittle. And it's horrible. And that's what made it noteworthy. There's a similar example that the Velociraptors go through. They go through a death throw where they... I'm assuming their neck has been severed, and they just... it's actually not fun to watch. It's kind of disturbing. They just roll all over the floor. It's awful. I have no other words to describe it. Going back to my theme of earlier of why, I don't really know, and the guess that I have, here's a pointless journeying back through. Funny enough, I could have just walked backwards through the portal again and circumvent, whatever. I was in a rush. You can tell, watching me play a shooter probably gives more insight into the way I play games than anything else. In that there is a path, I'm on the path, and I will follow that path to the letter. Even if something interrupts it, I will take the same route every time. Do you know what the definition of sanity is? No, I'm not really a big fan of that game. But enough about that. Turok, level 2. And the samey level geometry. Consequently, one of the updates that the Night Dive gave to... I've not bothered to talk about the fact that this is a re-release by Night Dive, who wanted to bring Turok Dinosaur Hunter, the original, and the sequel, and I'm pretty sure they feel the same way I do, where really they just want to put out the sequel, but hey, we gotta put out the original as well, even though it's not really as fondly remembered. And even the sequel, I'm willing to bet hardly anyone actually remembers that much about it, but they remember one gun, and because they remember that one gun, I guess they remember the level of violence. It just stuck with them for their lives. But the re-release brought with it the ability to do display widescreen, and controller support, and a bunch of modern graphics features, most notable among them being... This is not the key I missed. I'll point it out whenever I come up. Wah! Boy, if you want to grab that full health in the middle... Now, I haven't bothered to talk about how the health system works, but in the middle of that pit there, where if you miss, you will instantly die due to a bottomless pit. It's a full health. You might think it's an ultra health, but it's not. It's a full health. And by you, I mean me, and by might think, and by knowing that there's a... To sum up, how do you think I know there's a bottomless pit there? Because I'm an idiot, and I went after it thinking it was an ultra health. Right. Should I talk about the health system first? Ah, no, I'll talk about the... Out of those new graphical features, they extended the draw distance. And draw distance, for those of you who are completely unfamiliar with the term, refers to, if you look in the background, you'll notice that there is fog. And that probably seems weird and completely unnecessary. Well, it's because with modern-day graphics cards, it is completely unnecessary. But whenever the Nintendo 64, with its shoddy level of processing, had to handle it, well, it can only display as much, a certain amount of the environment at any given time, and thus the game designers had to compensate by basically just having this fog, this haze. So, the level, to explain it another way, if you were to freeze, I guess to put it this way, if you were to freeze the level in place, and force your computer to not load anything else, and you were to move the camera outside of that fog, there'd be no level there. None of the enemies would appear, there'd just be nothing. And that was to allow free up memory on the Nintendo 64, because it wasn't very good at computing, because it's a console. Not to throw too much shade at consoles, but it's just kind of the nature of the business. And thus, the original draw distance of Turok was very, 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 very low. Oh, and that's how we refer to draw distance. The further it is, the more demanding it is. Oh god. Oh my god. I was gonna transition into something else regarding the tech. And then I completely forgot. Oh no. Oh no, quick. Quick. Fix up. Brain hurt. Insert your Snake Eater theme song here. You're gonna want to. By the way, then something for fun viewership. You might want to have the Snake Eater ladder climbing soundboard up, or a soundboard with the Snake Eater ladder climbing segment at the ready. Anytime there's some vine crawling, start playing it, because there are a number of them that are very, very lengthy. Why? Again, I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps it had to do, like I said, with the draw distance. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. Other games were able to take advantage of the whole draw distance thing. And there is one section of this game that was also able to use the low draw distance to its advantage. Silent Hill comes to mind. It's why Silent Hill 1 and 2, I think, even 2, or was it Silent Hill 1, I think, did it for technical reasons, and then Silent Hill, every subsequent one just did it because that's the way it is. Because I'm pretty sure the PS2 could have handled longer draw distances. In fact, I'm certain of it because Shadow of the Colossus was on. Anyway, different designers have different knowledge of tech. Anyway, Silent Hill was able to take advantage of it. There's one level of this game that's able to take advantage of the low draw distance. Silent Hill was able to make the game scarier. Turok just made the game, ooh, it's mysterious. Those monkeys, by the way, crawling around. One of the questions I always wondered as a kid playing this game was whether or not you could kill them too. The answer is no, you cannot. And I know this. By the way, this is the key that I missed. And it's not even that well hidden. It's simply, once again, I was just so fixated on the path that I completely, I didn't even, would it be forgetfulness? Not really forgetfulness so much as just absent-mindedness. I'm on autopilot. So it's not that I forgot it. I knew exactly where it was. But I'm on autopilot, so I'm just going through the motions. Because if anything else, I'm doing this after, this is equally fitting. I'm actually doing this recording, not the game footage. This I got all in one No, that's a lie. 2 sittings. I got it down in 2 sittings. And immediately after that, when I got finished editing all of the footage together in preparation for voice, I replayed Doom 2016, and I've come to remember why I've just kind of fallen out of favors with shooters, which is funny considering I'm starting up this channel with a revisiting of all the shooters I played in my youth. I grew up with these. This is another, like I said, the running theme with all the games that I've played thus far. These were my formative experiences. Half-Life 1 being another one on PC, and oddly enough, Fallout 2. But, God, I had a love affair with shooters for a very, very long time. And then I just kind of got really bored with them. And Doom 2016, that'll be for another time. But it made me realize why I'm just, oh man, I play fighting games now. What happened? And is Turok going to give me any kind of introspective reasoning or give me a moment for introspection to understand a little bit of that? Kind of. One of the things that I made note of when I was playing through this, like I said, a big part of it had to do with me playing on hard difficulty, is I found myself ignoring a lot of things. For example, I've already just completely ignored. There's a little cave that I could have gone into, and I didn't. There's nothing in there but ammo. And I thought, again, in retrospect, I was looking back at that and thinking, why didn't I go in there? In fact, more with regard to the LP, why am I basically just not trying to do a speedrun? Because those are also possible. I thought, well, part of my goal is I actually want to show the game. And then I thought about that little cave and I didn't go in there. And to answer the question, what's in there? Nothing, there's bugs. There's bugs and you come to a dead end and there's something there. So I bypassed it. But for the rest of these areas, I actually try to give off a good impression of what's in them. Partly because, especially later, more so later than now. How many times is he going to fall in the pit? The answer, I believe, is twice. Consequently, why am I bothering to go through this again? Well, I'm going to go pick up that box of bullets at the end. Unless I give up and immediately just decide, you know what, I don't want that box of bullets. Another fun thing. Maybe that'll be the conclusion. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Point being is this game gave me pause to think about my falling out with shooters. Or rather, Doom 2016 did. Now I'm coming on to this. Had a lot of fun. Hey, that got heavy. Let's go back to stupidity. I was thinking about the fact that we're using it's clearly supposed to be an AK-47, which most of the time they're AKMs, but it doesn't. When you look at it in the gun selection thing, it doesn't even look like an AK. It looks like a civilian 22 long rifle Polish variant on an AK. It doesn't make sense. But actually jumping off of that, we are meant to assume the assault rifle uses the same bullets that the pistol does. So either one of two things is a possibility. Either this is an assault rifle that is using a pistol caliber cartridge, or we were firing a pistol that used rifle caliber cartridges. Make sense of that. Oy vey. And it's an assault rifle not known for having selective fire 3-shot burst, firing in 3-round bursts. boy, dear, oh dear. Oh! Speaking of which, it should also be said, Talset has no background information is given on Talset. Not in the manual, not in anything. If it is in the comic books, I'm not aware of it, because I only ever read one or two of them. And the comic books were... It's the same core premise. It's the campaigner, although the ones I read, his primary villain of the week was a raptor that got turned into a human with the little cyborg headpiece. But Turok is evidently skilled in the use of advanced firearms and the weapons of his heritage, as the manual says. There's your level 2. That's something that I found kind of neat, is that in front of each portal you can see progress. It tells you the keys and whether you got the Chronoceptor piece. But knocking them out really quickly. On to level 3.